Meeting on Drug Matters, ASOD, which Myanmar hosted for the second time, opened in Yangon on Tuesday. The four-day meeting was attended by officials from the ASEAN Secretariat, ASEAN member countries, representatives from ASEAN dialogue partners, China, Japan, South Korea and India, and those from Drug Enforcement Administration of the United States, Australian Federal Police and the UN Office on Drugs and Crime. Myanmar Police Chief Major General Yu Zo Win said at the opening ceremony that Myanmar combats drug problems through a two-pronged approach, demand reduction and supply reduction. He said Myanmar had been able to reduce more than 23,700 hectares of poppy field this year. Aside from eliminating poppy cultivation, Myanmar has also made great steps in anti-trafficking, following the arrests of many drug dealers through cooperating with ASEAN countries and another 6 countries along the Mekong River. At Tuesday's meeting, delegations presented their respective countries' reports, which were followed by discussions by the working groups on prevention education, treatment and rehabilitation, law enforcement and alternative development. Myanmar hosted the 24th ASOD meeting in 2003. The last and 33rd meeting was hosted in Malaysia in 2012. In May this year, Myanmar also hosted a Six-Nation ministerial meeting on drug control in Nay Pyi Taw, involving Cambodia, China, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand and Vietnam, as well as the UNODC. A Nay Pyi Taw declaration on drug control cooperation was then issued, reaffirming their commitment to overcoming the drug problem in the East Asian region and assuring their efforts to address the drug problem in the region. Thousands of Myanmar residents attended a peaceful march in the capital city Yangon on Saturday in the first legal celebration of the International Day of Peace to be held in Myanmar. With light drizzle falling, thousands of local residents gathered in front of Yangon City Hall and marched towards the People's Park and People's Square for a ceremony. Since the International Day of Peace was established by the United Nations in 2001, Myanmar residents have held many activities to honor the day. However, without government approval, the activities have remained small. In contrast to the previous events, Minister of the President's Office of Myanmar, Yu So Tien, and Myanmar's Minister of Immigration and Population, Yu Kin Yi, participated in this year's celebrations at People's Square. In addition, more than 10 non-governmental organizations were involved in the event. Photos of displaced children were also displayed at the ceremony. The No ASEAN Roadshow was held recently at Datuk Muhammad Yassin Primary School in Kampung Mentiri, Brunei Darussalam. The event was jointly organized by the Professional Development Division, Primary School Leaders Committee and the Information Department. The guest of honor was the Acting Director of the Information Department, Awang Mawardi bin Haji Muhammad. Also present were officers from the Department of Schools, as well as headmasters, headmistresses, teachers and students from 13 schools in Brunei. The roadshow was aimed at disseminating information on ASEAN to students towards realizing the ASEAN community by 2015, creating more awareness and knowledge on ASEAN, giving a healthy competition through drawing and writing, and nurturing the sense of belonging among the students as an ASEAN community. The ASEAN Corner at schools was implemented in 2009 to provide information on ASEAN. An ancient Cambodian martial art was banned during the Khmer Rouge era in the 1970s is being revived as a sport. Yo Takun Kom is Cambodia's indigenous martial art, mixing elbow and knee strikes, shin kicks, submissions and ground fighting, as well as weapons including bamboo sticks and swords. It dates from the Angkor period about 1,000 years ago and is considered the root of modern Muay Thai and kickboxing. The martial art has 10 individual styles, each an interpretation of the fighting movements of an animal or spirit: king monkey, lion, elephant, apsara, crocodile, duck, crab, horse, bird and dragon. It is a deadly martial art with each strike intended to kill, allowing warriors to move quickly onto the next opponent. Chan Bun To Yun is one of the only two Yotakun Com masters, or Lok Kru, left in Cambodia today. During the Khmer Rouge era from 1975 to 1979, people who knew about Yotakun Com were systematically killed in an attempt to erase the Khmer culture, and Chan Bun To Yun was forced to keep his knowledge secret. Over the past 10 years, a handful of clubs and organizations have sprung up in an effort to preserve Yotakun Com by transforming it from a deadly battlefield technique into a sport. In June this year, Chan Ro Thana opened the Selapak Living Arts School on this busy street in Phnom Penh to teach the techniques as well as the spirit of the art to students. In the early months of training, Rothana focuses on developing fitness and learning some basic moves. Students pay $60 for 1 month of lessons, well above the means of most Cambodians. Those taking part enjoy rigorous workout and the insight they got into an ancient warrior culture. For Rothana, the mission is to protect Yotakun Com by making it popular both locally and internationally. Foreigners were not originally allowed to learn Yotakun Com, but Rothana believes opening the doors to others may be the only way to protect the art. Futuristic concept car with a body that resembles a TV screen is one of the main attractions at this year's Indonesia International Motor Show. The event draws tens of thousands of industry experts, analysts, and dealers, and of course car enthusiasts. This year, IIMS occupies some 75,000 square meters, and the organizers hope around 380,000 people will go through their gates. Mazda is among the 36 brands exhibiting here. Their all-new Mazda 6 features the company's Sky Active technology and Kodo Soul of motion design. Mazda claims Sky Active combines efficient, environmentally friendly technology without compromising the car's performance. Daihatsu is showcasing 8 concept cars in total, including the crossover utility vehicle and the UFC-2, their ultra-function concept car. In all, more than 300 cars are on display, including Ford's new Fiesta, an updated version of its best-selling Runaround, and Chevrolet's chunky 5 or 7-seat family SUV Captiva. It retails around $34,000. Not to be outdone in the green market is Suzuki. The Japanese car producer is keen to show off its low-cost Karimun Wagon R. It is an update of an old Suzuki model that has been sold in Japan for some 20 years. Production of the new model has yet to go ahead. In 2012, total car sales in Indonesia hit an all-time high of 1.12 million units, according to data of the Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers. The theme of the IIMS 2013 is smart vehicle mobility, and nothing could be smarter than Toyota's futuristic concept car, the Fun V. The car's been seen before, but its body shell made of touch-screen panels is always eye-catching. V stands for Vehicle Interactive Internet. There are no plans as yet for the model to be sold commercially, but the company says it demonstrates the type of technology that might be used in future. A group of 50 cyclists from University Utara Malaysia crossed the border to Thailand Thursday to join a car-free day activity held in Phuket province. The students have ridden their bicycles from their campus in Sintok Kedah to join over 2,000 international cyclists on the Thai's resort island. They arrived at Sadao border pass in the morning and were welcomed by Thai officials. During the 4-day Sintok Phuket expedition, the students will explore tourist sites along the route to Phuket, including Songkhla, Bahalung, Krabi and Trang. Taking part in the international campaign, the students hope to raise public awareness on energy conservation and the fight against pollution and global warming. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration organized the cycling activity on the occasion of the Car-Free Day on September 22nd. About 20,000 bicyclists joined the event to encourage general people to reduce the use of private motored vehicles. At 9 a.m., Bangkok Governor Sukhumban Paribatra, BMA executives, soldiers, police, actors, actresses and representatives of people's organizations boarded a tram from the City Hall to the Sanam Luang field, where about 20,000 bicyclists were launched for the campaign. They wore red, white and blue outfits to form a procession picturing the Thailand national flag. Bangkok organized the activity together with many other cities worldwide to encourage people to reduce the use of private vehicles and commute with public transit systems and bicycles instead. The campaign will continue until the end of this month to promote environmental conservation, local products and tourist attractions along the Mekong River in Bung Kan. The foreign tourist arrival to Thailand this year is on pace to a record high 26 million. The president of the Tourism Council of Thailand, Piyaman Techapaibun, announced that the private sector organization projected the number of tourists visiting Thailand in the last quarter this year to reach 7 million, bringing the total of 2013 to 26.27 million, or a 17.86% increase from 2012. She said the projection was based on tourist agencies' confidence index that jumped to the highest level in 3 years. In the past 8 months of this year, Chinese tourists were notably the largest group, accounting for 3.2 million. Piyaman hailed government's tourism promotion campaigns such as Shopping Paradise program. However, the TCT viewed there remained weaknesses in tourist facilities and services. Tourist spending for leisure shopping in Thailand was relatively low. Therefore, the government should focus on services to ensure convenience of tourists such as airport merchandise pickup. The TCT is responsible for coordination between government and the private sector, together to promote the tourism industry, conservation of art, culture, tourism attractions, and historic environment, including the identity of Thai culture. The Thai government's figures show that 2012 visitor arrivals to Thailand passed 22 million mark for the first time. Tourists flocked to the Thailand's Chiang Mai Zoo to see female giant panda Lin Bing that will leave for China for mating next Saturday. Visitors to the zoo take pictures of Lin Bing that will be in China for a year to mate. Staffs of the zoo are also organizing countdown activities leading to the departure of the female giant panda throughout the week. Zoo staffs are preparing for the trip to Li Bing. They are training Li Bing to be inside its cage for longer than 8 hours at a time and feeding it with bamboo species that giant pandas in China eat. Veterinarians cancelled their plan to tentatively transport Lin Bing on a vehicle mid this week to prevent it from a shock just before its air travel.